Hey guys, welcome to episode number 54. Today is Wednesday, so it's DIY Wednesday, and today we're going to build an auto doser out of an Airwick fresh-matic. So come along with me and learn how to be a better aquarist.
Alright, so before we get started, there are a few tools and a few items that you're going to need to have. The first of which is just an Airwick fresh-matic. They sell these with the freshener insert, and they also sell them without. So this is the gadget-only version. So this is like $5, and it's the largest version that they have. They have some mini ones, but this one seems to be the easiest to work with. So again, this is just the gadget only. It doesn't come with the air freshener inside. But what we're interested in basically is just the motor inside this. So that's $5, and then the next big component is just a soap dispenser. Getting one about this size will do just fine. If you can see here, getting one with a clear top is good as well. That will help out, and then getting one that has a very small channel here for the soap to dispense is also important. If you see one that's like really long this way, or is flat and isn't round, you probably want to avoid those. So get something that's clear. Get something that's as circular as possible for that soap dispensing channel, and you'll be on the right track. And then the only other thing you're really going to need is a couple pieces of flexible tubing here. I'm not quite sure what the diameter of this tubing is, but you'll just have to determine that based on the size of your the head of your dispenser. Optionally, if you don't want to have this thing battery powered, you can also get a universal AC adapter. I got this one from Walmart, I believe, for like 15 or 20 bucks. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to set your voltage. And right here I have this set to 3 volts. Sorry about the focus. And what that does is it simulates the 2 AA batteries that would typically go inside a fresh-matic. And it allows you to kind of hardwire your auto doser to your wall so that you don't have to worry about batteries. So other than that, the tools that you're going to need, the big one is going to be a soldering iron so you can heat and melt your plastic. Then you're going to need a pair of needle nose pliers or wire strippers are also good. Some electrical tape, a pair of scissors, and a thing of silicone. And what I'm using here is Aquarium safe silicone. It's 100% silicone. It's GE silicone #1, and that's clear. So that's what you're gonna have to look out for. And then optionally, if you have just like some wire to help attach your pieces together, that will also help. So let's get building.
Alright, so here's the build video. I'm going to take the Airwick fresh-matic out of its case, and then I'm going to empty my soap bottle into another bottle, and then I'm going to wash the bottle out very, very well. And then I'm going to start soldering. Plastic fumes are very toxic, so make sure you don't breathe this in. Make sure you're in a very well ventilated area, and make sure not to burn your fingers. But what I'm going to do is cut off all the extra plastic around the top of that that head to the soap dispenser. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to widen the plastic channel on the fresh-matic, which typically holds your can of air freshener. And you'll notice I go back and forth a few times here to try to get a perfect fit. You want to make sure that the head to your soap dispenser can press down without getting stuck on any plastic, but you don't want it so loose that it could pop out of the channel that you're creating. So once I've got that good, what I do is I cut off the bottom to the bottle, and then I slowly continue to cut additional pieces off until it fits just right, really snug in that space. And then what I do is I poke a hole through the bottom, and then I insert my tube to see if it fits, and then I poke a hole in the back. This will allow me to attach my tubing to the bottom of my soap dispenser head and feed that out the back. You see here, I test it and it's working good. So now what I'm going to do is pull that tubing in through, and I readjust my holes a couple times to make sure that everything fits well, the hose doesn't kink. I want it to feed through easily but snugly, so it's not too loose. And then what I do is I take a piece of wire and I strap my bottle in place. And there we go. That part is done. Next, what I do is I take my silicone and I just wrap a bead around the head to make sure that my tube is airtight.
Here's the finished product. I have two versions here. The first one, which I just built, is battery powered. You'll notice that the two batteries are back behind here, and if those batteries run out, I can always pop this out and swap in some rechargeable batteries and keep it going. But what happens is this longer end here, you can stick in a small container which might have your plant fertilizers. I have this bottle right here of Flora Nova for general hydroponics. It's a grow formula, and what I would do is I would take some of that and mix it with water and put it in a small container, and then stick this end of your tube in that container. And then what's going to happen is when you turn this on, and there's several settings. I believe the quickest setting is 9 minutes and the longest setting is like 36 minutes. But what it's going to do after a few seconds here is press down. So there's a motor inside here, and it's pushing that red lever, which is pushing down on the head of the soap dispenser. And what that's doing is it's dispensing a set amount of your fertilizer liquid at the appropriate interval of time. So what I need to do now, once the silicone is dry, is stick this end in water, and then stick this end in some sort of vial or measuring cup, so that I can test after 24 hours or 48 hours how much liquid is being dispensed. And every one is going to be a little bit different, so you kind of have to calibrate it yourself. But once the silicone is dry, this is good to go. The battery should probably last for at least a few weeks, if not longer. So that's a great little, $5 do-it-yourself auto doser. If you want to get a little more ambitious, you can look over here, and this is the second version. This is actually an older version of the Airwick fresh-matic, and what's different here is instead of using the batteries, which would go right here, what I decided to do was take this universal AC adapter, set it to 3 volts, and what I did was, as you can see here, I cut, there's 2 wires which go from the inside here to these 2 battery terminals. I cut those wires, and then I cut the wires on the end of the AC adapter, and then I spliced those together here, and I pulled them out the back. So what I can do here now is I can plug this into the wall, and in this case I'll just plug it into my power strip. And then flip this over, turn it on. You'll see that the older version has the green LED light, and after about 9 seconds the motor should run. So there we go, and it made that noise and it stayed down because there was nothing to push it back up. If you have that soap dispenser head in place correctly, you won't get that noise, and it will return back to its original position. So that's a kind of a quick way to save batteries, so you can kind of let it go. But again, you need to calibrate it, and that's really about it. The AC adapter is an additional $20 or so. But if you're setting something up long term, it's definitely easier than worrying about batteries. But if you have any questions, let me know. And I'll see you guys later.